Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 16 Bitchin' Podcast. I'm your host, Tom Heather, also known as Sega Head on YouTube. But you may already know that if you are listening / kind of watching this on YouTube itself. You can also check it out on Anchor and all them other places. Maybe you're there, who knows. But I'm excited for today's episode because these 3 games are ones I have wanted to talk about so much on my channel before, but I've never really been able to. Maybe the modern game, I think I've kind of talked about that one a little bit. Maybe a little bit the indie one. And you know what, fuck it, I've talked about all of them a little bit, but I don't care! I'm going to talk about them again in greater detail. So I hope you're all excited for this today. I hope at least one of these games is one you haven't tried, so it'll be something you can get into. Now, of course, if you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to the Sega Head channel, or subscribe to the 16 Bitchin' Podcast on your preferred podcast platform of choice. And I hope, like me, you're in a chilled out situation listening to this. If not, you're probably at work and having a shit time, in which case I shall try and chill you out. Use your imagination, because this that you're about to hear is me opening a cider. And drinking it. Oh, fuck, nearly spilled it. Yeah, I'm professional. I know what I'm doing. If you're wondering what it is I'm drinking, it's nothing special, really. It's just a new flavour I want to try. Copperberg Cherry. Or wild cherry. Never even seen it in the shops. Could have been out for fucking ages, but my local shops didn't sell it until very recently, so I thought, you know what, I gotta try it. I gotta try it. So that's enough of the bullshit. For now, there will be more bullshit. There's always bullshit with me. It can't be helped. So let's get on to today's modern game. Now, I promised you that it would not be a game heavily focused on multiplayer, because I've kind of covered that a little bit too much, haven't I? It wasn't intentional, it just kind of worked out that way. And then when I thought there would be a break from it, Jamie picked his game, Far Cry 4. I thought, there you are, we're a break from it. And then I learned that I was wrong, because it's so heavy on the multiplayer aspect. So, yeah, whoops. Anyway, doesn't fucking matter. Today's game, single player, Terminator Resistance. Now, I have this game on the PS4, so if there's a feature that's in another version of it I don't know about, don't be surprised if I don't mention it. I think it's on a PS5 now, and the PS5 version, I believe, like PC, has a lot of cool DLC shit, which is not coming out on the PS4, apparently. I am super fucking pissed at this, but apparently it's true. Yeah. So anyway, what is Terminator Resistance, in case you don't know? It is a first-person shooter, and actually, it is the first-person shooter that got me into them. I've never liked FPS games. I find them to be quite dull, fucking repetitive. Go here whilst looking down a bloody gun and shoot a thing. And then go here, and then shoot another thing. Oh, but guess what? Even more exciting. Go there, shoot that thing as well. It just always seemed kind of boring. It's the same thing throughout an entire game. The variety seemed to be fucking small. But the thing is, right, you know, whenever you get asked, what's your favourite film? Or what's your favourite movie? Well, for me, I can't pick one. So I have 3. The first Terminator film, Alien, and Evil Dead 2. So when Terminator Resistance was first announced to the world, or when I first saw it at least, I was in shock at the graphics and the way it looked. And I know graphics don't make a good game, but it's very easy to be swayed by nice graphics, isn't it? You see something that looks awesome and you think, holy shit, I need this game! So even the fact that it was an FPS game didn't put me off, because it looks so cool. Now, this is based in the future, when Skynet has nuked the fuck out of everything, and the machines have risen, yada, yada, yada. If you've seen Terminator Salvation, I believe it is, with Christian Bale, it's like that, but there's, how do I put it? It's more of a kindreds. It's more like the flashbacks, which are future flashbacks, from Kyle Reese in Terminator 1, the movie. It's that setting. Nighttime, everything's fucked, skulls everywhere, laser shots getting fired in all bloody directions, very dark, very blue in tint of light, very cool. There are Terminators throughout the whole game, walking around, trying to hunt people, just hiding and trying to kill them. It's very cool in the fact that when you do get to fight these Terminators, unless you have a specific weapon, you will not damage them at all, and they will destroy you. So if you've got the shotgun, it doesn't do dick. If you've got pistols, it doesn't do dick. Rifles, stuff like that, it doesn't do anything. But if you can get some Skynet tech with their plasma guns and that obviously fucking works. Shotguns and that, no. So if you're thinking timeline, if you're that nerdy like I am when it comes to Terminator, in terms of timeline, yes, Terminators are everywhere. But we're not at a point where Terminators get covered in skin, where they look human. We haven't reached that. Okay? Obviously, the game's story does get to a point where it does cover that, but I'm not going to ruin the story. I'm just going to highlight certain bits of it. So I'm just going to assume that you know about the story with John Connor and Skynet and all of that crap. You play the part of one, shall we say, survivor, one Marine, trying to continue to survive, and then he gets roped in to try and help out TechCom and all of that. That's a story. We don't need to go into it anymore. Let's focus on the gameplay. Well, one thing I have to highlight is the music. The soundtrack within this game is phenomenal. It's awesome. As soon as I finished playing the game, I thought, I need the soundtrack. I need this. I've got to have it. Luckily, it wasn't too hard to find. The problem is when games have just come out, getting the soundtrack can sometimes be a dick. Like when Doom came out on the PS4. I wanted that soundtrack right away because that's fucking awesome. Couldn't get it for the longest time. Anywhere. There were some game rips, but everyone I found sounded shit. Luckily, I found the soundtrack for Terminator Resistance on YouTube, had a link to where you could download it for free. No, I'm not going to tell you where that was, because I can't remember. This was a few months ago I did this. Sorry. But if I can find it, trust me, you can fucking find it. So we know the music is awesome. The voice acting is very good. The graphics on the machines, on gunfire, scenery, all of that looks really good. When it comes to people's faces, the human faces, it's not epic. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. It's not bad. Let's just say that. It's okay. The game does have some sex scenes in it, but the game does have branching paths. You can not really determine the different endings to such a huge degree. I mean, there are different endings, but they're not massively different. The paths towards those endings, those are different. So if you do certain things, you can get these sex scenes. First time I played it, I didn't know anything about them, but the story, I guess all the choices I made were leading towards that. So I got to have sex a couple of times in the game, and it was phenomenal. First time fucking in the future. Will it be my last? Depends if I play the game again. And I did really enjoy playing this game. Thoroughly so. I fucking platinumed it. But to be honest, it wasn't the hardest game in the world to platinum. And speaking of hard, yeah, I know you think it's going to be a sex pun. Ha ha, well done you for thinking that. No, I'm on about the difficulty in the game. It's not that difficult. When I completed it on normal mode, I thought, did I put it on easy by mistake? Because I've done that before. Had I done that? The game felt really easy. So I wanted to play it again because I didn't platinum it the first time through. I think I missed like just 3 trophies. I thought, fuck it, it's only 3. Might as well play it again. I enjoyed it. It's not a super long game. Unfortunately, it's on the shorter side of things. So I thought maybe because it was so easy, I zoomed through it too quick. So I whacked it on the hardest fucking difficulty. Normally, I don't do that, because when I get pissed off with a game, I'm a controller breaker. I'm an angry person. People who watch my YouTube channel, you know this, so there's no hiding it. But I put it on the hardest difficulty, and I managed to do it. I was a little bit shocked at that. The end was an arsehole, and there's one point, it's not really a spoiler, so I don't mind telling you. There's one point where you do have to face a Terminator who has skin on. You wouldn't think having flesh surrounding the metal would make him tougher, but some magic powers make it so. Absolute cunt to kill. Took me a good while, but I did it. I did do it. So there's that. But I do praise this game really highly. I think it's awesome. You know what the funny thing is? Not many other people do. The reviews. They're not great. Metacritic. For the PC, it gave it a 60 out of 100. For PS5, only 62 out of 100. Xbox One, 55 out of 100. But the PS4 got 47 out of 100, so according to them, I played the worst version. Well, holy shit, it must be awesome on the others, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't know where I got all these crappy reviews. I really don't know. Destructoid, 4 out of 10. Eurogamer said avoid. Flat out said avoid it. Didn't get a rating. No anything out of 10. Just said avoid. Fucking shocking. IGN, 4 out of 10. OPM, 5 out of 10. Push Square, 5 out of 10. PS4, 4 out of 10. PS5. And it goes on. It's all very split. It's a 50-50 game. Half the amount of people liked it. Half the amount of people didn't. And I don't know why. Wesley Yin Poole of Eurogamer called it generic and boring. That's so weird considering it's the first-person shooter in fucking ages to actually get me interested enough to keep playing it. When Doom came out on the PS4, as you may have figured out from me mentioning earlier about the soundtrack, I played it. I thought it was pretty good. You know what? I got bored. I didn't complete it because I got bored. I didn't want to play anymore. I got so far, I can't tell you where, but I didn't want to play anymore. I thought, I'm done. I've had enough. I've got my fill out of this fucking thing. Nuts to it. Zach Zweisen of Kotaku favourably compared it with two earlier games published in the 1990s, The Terminator Future Shock and Skynet. I don't know them. I don't. The only Terminator game I can think of from back in the day when I played is Terminator Dawn of Fate on the PS2. Very good game. Maybe I'll talk about that one day. We'll see. Future Shock, Skynet. Sorry, I don't know them ones. But it is graphically a very good game. As I say, everything except for people's faces looks good. People's faces don't look bad. It's just I'm not convinced that you're a person. You know, it's not groundbreaking. It's not like The Last of Us. The Last of Us had very good, realistic-looking faces. This came out much later, doesn't have that level, which is a bit of a shame. But the music is fantastic. The gameplay is fantastic. I didn't get bored. I felt like each level had enough variety and appearance and layout. The maps were very different. I enjoyed that. The enemies, you get flyers. You have to think about how you kill them. You've got these, like, mine droids, or as I like to call them, fuckers. If they get triggered or you shoot them but don't kill them with that first shot, they roll towards you. If they get next to you, bang, and it fucking hurts. So you gotta kill them quick. Terminators, as I said, very clever. You can only kill them with certain weaponry, so that's good. You got big ass tank things. Obviously they've got weak spots, shit like that. So you got to be careful. Oh, and the bases. I nearly forgot the bases. Fucking hell. You can infiltrate the infiltrator bases, because of course Terminators are infiltrators. You can hack your way into the base. Now, you want to be careful here, because if you trigger too many things, cannons will spot you and annihilate you. If more than one Terminator catches you, you're fucked, mate. You are dead. So this part of the game has a stealth aspect, and it actually fits in really nicely. It's not too much of a pain in the arse like other games where you're sneaking along, make the slightest sound, or you move too quick and then people turn around and go, huh? What was that? You're thinking, shut up, fuck off. The Terminators, you can figure out how they function, how they work. It's a machine. It goes by certain programs, and you start thinking of it like that. So you know how to get round the fucker. It's very enjoyable. It's an enjoyable stealth aspect, and that's coming from me, someone who gets frustrated easily, so he's not brilliant at stealth stuff. If I had to pick something in the game I don't like, or something I've always found is a bit stupid, you get a weapon that's like a Terminator dagger. This is a one-hit kill. If you can sneak up to a Terminator with one, then you can use the item, you hit the Terminator in this weak spot on the back of the neck that we've never fucking heard of, and then you can kill them in one. I don't like that simply because it's like, this is the Terminator. The badass machine, and I can do it in with a fucking dagger. I don't care how special this dagger is. Bullshit is all I can think. I wish they didn't have that. If they're going to have a one-hit kill thing for a Terminator, not a dagger, please. If you said this is some sort of high-tech thing that if you can get it onto the neck, it will cause a frequency fuckwave that will go into their circuitry and make them spanner it. You know what? That's fine. Because that's high-tech bullshit, which is what the Terminator franchise is. It's high-tech bullshit, but I enjoy it. A dagger has no place in killing Terminators. Alright? Good. Glad we cleared that up. Having said that, I can't think of anything else to say, except while everyone else seems to say, fuck this game, I say try it. You really should try it. It's a fucking good game. And if you're kind of on the fence, check out the trailer. Right? Very enjoyable, very exciting trailer. And the game's cheap, which is even better. Maybe that's the good thing about bad reviews. If you really enjoy a game, but other people are giving it bad reviews, hey, it's probably cheap. And it is here. So I say try it. And now we quickly move on to the retro game. Now, I won't lie, I was kind of spoilt for choice here because I thought I haven't covered a Master System game yet. I need to do that. So that's what we're going to do now. And it's an RPG, because I fucking love RPGs. But as I said, I did have a bit of a hard time thinking of which one to do. I thought, should I do Phantasy Star? Maybe not. It's a bit too easy to talk about. And everyone that knows Master System will know Phantasy Star. Even if they haven't had a chance to play it, they'll know it. Maybe Ease. Ease is a fucking good one. I thought, nah. But Miracle Warriors. Oh, this game does not get the fucking love it deserves. The funny thing is, there is actually an NES version. Kind of. It's a Famicom one. I own the Famicom cart just because I wanted to compare the graphics and the style. The style is very different. Normally when you get an NES game versus a Master System game, there are differences. Look at Double Dragon. Massive differences. This is on that kind of level. It's the same game, but it's still insanely different. Anyway, ignore the Famicom one for now. The Master System one, incredibly colourful, great music. The game, if you manage to get the case, the booklet and all that, it comes with a map. That is an invaluable thing. When I got my copy, my first one, I didn't know the fucking thing came with a map. So when I bought it on eBay, I didn't go looking for one with said map, obviously. So when I got it and then I read the book, and I was like, oh, dick, I'm missing a thing. Shit. Certain points in the game, you think, I know I have to head, let's say, west. I've gone west. Where the fuck do I go from here? I can't go westerer. I'm as west can westify, so where the fuck am I meant to go? The map is... You have to have it. Luckily, Google has many good printouts of the map, so I just found a copy, saved it, and kept going back to it every so often. That is a pain in the arse. But luckily, with today, you can save the picture, put it on your phone. Every time you're like, oh, son of a bitch, where am I? You go to your phone. We go to our phone all the fucking time, so it's not really a problem. Would be nicer to have the map, but even then, if you had the map, it'd be a pain in the arse because you got to unfold it and go, right, where am I? Am I here? Because the whole thing is gridded. The entire game, all right, we'll ignore battles and stuff like that. We'll get onto that in a minute. But the open world is gridded. Every step you take is a movement by a square. Okay? So every time you move, you take one step. One step equals one square. So it is easy to keep track of your progress on your map. Because, of course, it's a paper map. There's no glowing fucking icon as to where you are. So it helps to have some idea as to how many steps you've taken, how far you've travelled. Plus, there's many landmarks, mountains, bridges, rivers, bushes, all this kind of bollocks. Doesn't take too much to think, right, okay, I remember that shit. Then I remember I went left, and there's that tree that's near me. Okay, I know where I am now. Okay, I got it. You got a little fairy fucker that follows you around, but you don't... It doesn't do anything as far as I can tell. It's not like Navi. The screen is cut up into several pieces for the entire thing. The bit when you're on the open world is less than a quarter of the screen. Which is weird, I know. The bottom right is money, items, various other bollocks. Bottom left is health bars for characters. There's 4 characters in the game, but of course you start off with 1. Top left is animations. That's where you see the battle, as it were. Now, of course, on the open world, if you travel for far enough, you will run into a battle. And holy fucking shit, the graphics for the monsters and all of that is just a step down from Phantasy Star. Bear in mind, Phantasy Star's battle scenes, in Phantasy Star 1, obviously, They're awesome. They are phenomenal. They are just astounding for this system, for the Master System. Miracle Warriors, not as good, but literally a step down. There's less in the way of like animations, movement, things like that. But there's a great variety in the monsters. There's even certain people, like, oh shit, I forget the name of it. There's like a dark wizard, or a dark monk, or black wizard, black monk. There's something like that. When you find the guy, do not fucking fight him. You've got the options to talk as well, the options to run. You see that bastard? You leg it. Funny thing is, if you see white wizard, or white monk, or whatever it is, talk to him, he'll go blah blah blah. Well done on your quest so far, and said shit. Have this. And he gives you money or item, I forget. But you got to remember, talk to him, quid's in. Try and fight him, yo fucked. So the plot is that a demon queen has returned. She's stolen the golden seal and opened a passage to fuck knows where, letting nasties in with the evil and blah 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 blah. It's not exactly a huge story. The story, a couple of steps down from Phantasy Star. But while you're thinking, okay, so far this game sounds good, but it sounds worse than Phantasy Star. Why are you talking about it then? It's not worse than Phantasy Star. It's different. I would say it's on the same level of quality, but it focuses them quality in different ways. Like I said, the graphics in the battle scenes look a step down, but the map, the overall sense of freedom and adventure on the open world, I would say it's better than Phantasy Star, because on Phantasy Star, you're in little island areas, not necessarily an island, but you're in blocked off areas where you can't fucking go much places. You think there's a load of trees, so that's a forest. There's another village, I can go there. Miracle Warriors, yes, there are villages, caves, all the usual pony, you know. But the world itself, the terrain, the ability to adventure around feels much grander, and the map does help with that. Having a map makes you think, fuck me, this is some game. There's a lot to this. The game can also be very clever. You don't just get so far, talk to someone, I will join you on your quest, blah, 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 blah. There's none of that shit. It's more like, get to a place, ask people, I'm on a quest to do this stuff. Know where I can get some help? No, fuck off. Alright, fuck you then. So you go and try and kill monsters and try and get people like you, or you go to a cave and defeat their evil nasty, come back, ask the bastards again, they'll be like, you know what, you're alright. I might know someone that can help you. Maybe. So you go to certain places with their hints and you use certain spells, you find people. It's quite clever in some of the ways that it's done. I would say this game is more heavy. It's more heavy on the fucking grinding and training aspect than Phantasy Star. So if you're a big fan of old school Dragon Warrior, you may like this more than you like Phantasy Star because it has a lot of that. It's not as insane as Dragon Warrior 1 where all you fucking do is grind and train. No, it's not. It's not like that. There's so much more adventuring for one and all the other stuff, blah, blah, blah. But it's got more grinding and training than Phantasy Star, I would say. Being the fact that it's an old school RPG gives me a limited amount of things to talk about. Also the fact that, unlike Dragon Warrior when we covered that, there's not a load of bad things to say. I can't really think of anything incredibly bad. It is a game where you need to save quite often, because you might go into an area and find yourself far past fucked. Walk into an area, think, I wonder what's down here, and then you walk into, let's just say, the land of boss fucks. Everything's too tough for you, you've made a mistake coming here. And like typical old RPG fashion, when you die, that's fucking it. Game over. So you save a lot. Luckily, you can save anywhere. Thank fuck. But there you are. We've gone on long enough about the retro, and we've gone on about the fucking modern. It's time to cover the indie. Now, this is a bit of an older indie, but I'm hoping that some of you out there aren't familiar with it. And those of you that are, I hope you enjoy the talk. Now, the people that made this, you may have heard of them. They once did a deal with fucking PewDiePie, but this was around the time that PewDiePie said something he really shouldn't have said in a live stream and got him in a lot of trouble, so they backed out at certain deals. Little did they know that would make them look bad. I don't know, it's all horseshit to me. The game was developed by Campo Santo. This game is Firewatch. It is a first-person adventure game. So it's not first-person like normal in the sense of run here, hold a fucking gun. No. It's like a sandbox game, but it isn't. There's a lot of adventuring to be done. It's this grand forest area in sort of autumn setting, I would say. There's a lot of orange tints and stuff, you know, leaves and that kind of atmosphere. You can picture what fucking autumn looks like. You don't need me for that. The game has a bit of a cartoony style in graphics. Not too cartoony, just a little bit. It takes place in America, in Wyoming. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But it's based in 1989. So it's got a bit of a retro-esque feel to it, which I really like. And you take on the role of Henry. Now, I don't want to give away too much about the story on this game because it is very heavy on the story and I would do it a disservice. And I would do you a disservice by spoiling some of it. So we'll just cover the basics. You take part of a fella named Henry. Henry used to be a happily married man. He lived with his wife and his dog. Everything was good. Life was getting good. Everything was great. Education for both of them was great. I think she was a teacher or something like that. They were planning on having kids. Everything was fine. Until one day she goes to work and, without going into detail, let's just say things turn bad. She doesn't die. I want to get that across now. She's not dead. But something bad happens. And wow, this story, fuck me. It reeled me in from the word go. The game starts with a little bit of text story just to catch you up to the point of why you're here in Wyoming. Not going to tell you that. That would spoil stuff. But the text bit, just the text bit reeled me right in. Fucking hell. Wow. Not heard a story this deep, this quick in a long time. At least one that wasn't any good. And this is good. So anyways, events and things happen in the texty part that lead Henry to Wyoming. Why is he there? Well, in a nutshell, without ruining things, new job. He's on the Firewatch in this big-ass forest area. You're just there to basically prevent fires because the place apparently can go up really easy. I don't know. I live in Britain. It rains all the fucking time. Fire's not so much a problem as it is drowning. The game is filled with explorations. You get given tasks and all these little questy bits. It's basically your job to do what you're told by a woman on the walkie-talkie. Throughout, well, not the entire game, 80% of the game, the only person you talk to is this woman via the walkie-talkie. You don't see her, but she's your boss. In this game, you will find out about certain crimes, certain horrible accidents, certain terrible things that have happened, and you got to find the clues, piece them together, find out what happened. Like, let's say the missing hikers, or there's these two, fuck them, there's these two bitches, right, they're out partying around one of the lakes, but they're retarded, because they brought fireworks and they're setting them off in the heavy fire possibility area, which you can imagine this would, public as it is, would still have signs around it going, oi, dickhead, fire, don't bring none. You would expect there to be a lot of signs for people who want to go camping. Do not light a fire, you cunt. It's an incredibly bad idea. Yet you get these two idiot drunken girls with fireworks. You go down, you can give them a bollocking, you can take their radio and throw it in the river. I do that every time. One of these days I will play the game and not do that to get the different little arc in the story, but I can't help it. The way they talk to Henry, you just think, you know what? Fuck you, and throw the damn radio in there and piss them off. Anyway, little bit of a spoiler. This is only a little bit. Those girls go missing, but not in a straightforward way. I can't tell you. I want to talk about it, but it'll spoil a lot of things, so I'm just going to shut up. The game is all set in the one area, obviously, but it's quite a big area, so it takes a while to learn your environment, learn your surroundings. You get a map you can bring up at any point. That fucking helps. And yes, there's an icon on it. That fucking helps. You hike around, you talk to what's-her-name on the walkie-talkie. Some areas you can't get to right away until you get some sort of hiking gear, like a certain type of rope or a certain type of hooky, axey, pointy, pickaxey thingy. I don't hike. I don't know hiking tech and shit, alright? I'm a gamer and I'm a hermit. Why in the name of screaming fuck would I go hiking when I can play this? They are. Jobs are good. There is a lot of dialogue in this game, obviously because of the story. I will say that the game has won some awards. Awards it deserved. It won Best 3D Visual Experience at the Unity Awards in 2016. Let's see. PC Gamer's Best of 2016. Best Writing. It won that. Best Writing. There you are. That really says something about the fucking story. Polygon's Best of 2016 Game of the Year. It won that. PlayStation Blog's Best of 2016 Best Independent Game. So Best Indie Game of 2016. It won that. It's won a bunch of other awards. I'm not even going to bother going into them because literally there's too many. You'll lose interest in me talking about them. Metacritic gave it an 81 out of 100 for the PC. PS4 got a 76 out of 100. Xbox One, 85 out of 100. Nintendo Switch, 87 out of 100. Again, the PS4's got the worst fucking review. I don't know why. I really don't know why. You would have thought that maybe the Switch one would, with the graphics taking a bit of a hit in handheld mode, but no, people enjoyed it more than that. Whatever, right? Destructoid, 8 out of 10. Game Informer. Game Informer, 7.75 out of 10. What the fuck? What do you just say, 8? Whatever, wankers. GameSpot, 7 out of 10. IGN, 9.3 out of 10. It goes on. Very good ratings. A guy named Chris Remo designed, wrote, and scored for the game. I don't know who that is. Also know he's just a composer, writer, and he's also a podcaster. So, like me, he's made a lot of mistakes in life. Poor bastard. Poor bastard. And also, like Terminator Resistance, this is a game that when I had done it, I thought, I need the soundtrack. This is a very ambient, very smooth, very, very nice, synthy sort of soundtrack. You know the 80s style synth of the music from Stranger Things? It's like that in many ways, but whereas the Stranger Things soundtrack obviously goes off in a deep, dark, weird, alien-esque sort of sound, this doesn't. Gives you more of a calm, relaxed, natural feel in the sound. It's bloody good. The other bloody good thing is this game's cheap. It's been out a little while, as you may have figured out from all the awards in 2016. But whatever. Fantastic game. It's a fantastic game. There's nothing else I can really say about that because it's so heavy on the story. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin the story. I gave you that little bit of taster. I gave you that little taster with the girls and all the things you can do about the families, the hikers. I told you a lot of stuff without going into too much detail. But yeah, that writing at the start, that really reeled me in quick. I was shocked at how good a job it did of that. Check out Firewatch. And if you're feeling retro, check out Miracle Warriors. It's a fantastic RPG and it's very different from the others. It feels very different. And if you like your first-person shooter games, then fuck what the review said. Try Terminator Resistance. If you can get the version with the DLC looks awesome, because I nearly forgot to mention DLC. You get to be a fucking Terminator. You get to be an infiltration unit. In other words, you have skin on you. I'm gutted that that's not for the PS4. I keep checking every so often, hoping they'll change their mind, but at least at the time of doing this podcast, it's not a fucking thing. Is on PC and PS5 and wherever else, though. So, fuck you, world. Fuck you. But thank you very much for listening to tonight's 16 Bitching podcast. I hope you had a fantastic time. If you're at work, hopefully I've made your workday a little bit better and it's zooming towards the end. If you're at home chilling, I hope you remain chilled. And please find a way to contact me and let me know how you listen to this podcast. Did you enjoy it on YouTube with the little video with the logo? Or did you listen to it in one of the podcast typical places? I really want to know. I'm trying to figure out the best places for an audience for this, if you know what I mean. I wasn't going to carry on the video thing, but everyone says, please, please do. Okay, I guess this hasn't gone the way I expected it, but whatever. Anyway, now I'm rambling, so that means it's time to wrap things up. And remember, If there's a modern game, a retro game, or an indie game that you want covered, or you think I should fucking play, get in contact with me. If you can't find me on YouTube or some other way to contact me in the podcast stuff, you can email me at segahead@hotmail.com. And don't forget to check out the Retro Refresh family at our wonderful website in the description below on the video or the podcast that you are checking out. Please check out one of the many links after you're done with this. See you next time.